questions ahead of time.
Okay. Okay, we're live. Now we have to.
Okay, so the first question of the group questions is number one is Dropbox is a late mover in a crowded space. What opportunity did Houston see? Specifically, what are the key elements of Dropbox's current business model? For this one, for my case study, I kind of concentrated on the aspects of he created something because there wasn't the specific qualifications he was looking for. He wanted to be able to edit documents from anywhere off of any machine, and he wanted it to be really user friendly. And when I initially it's funny because I use Dropbox, so I get the element of it and why it works. But then when he started talking about it, I kept thinking, well, Google Docs is very similar to that, where you can share documents with other people. The problem is Google Docs doesn't transfer well to other applications. So if you needed to put Google Docs into like a Word document, a lot of the formatting doesn't change. So the aspect of Dropbox is nice because not only can you share your documents or pictures or whatever, but when you edit it, you can edit it within the format it already is, which is kind of like I think the nicest feature. Those were kind of the features that I concentrated on, the aspects of it. I just concentrated on the importance of Dropbox staying very easy to use and not bringing in so many bells and whistles that people stop wanting to use it.
Right. And I focused on, well, I didn't necessarily bring this up in my case, in my write-up as much, but I noticed the first thing he talked about is they fill the niche between, there were companies that do data backup, and then there's companies that do thinking, but there's not companies that do both. So like this was really the only product that did both of them. And so I thought that leaves a total opening in the market for them. So the ability to sync everything, across all computers. So, and I also so we basically had the same idea. So, okay.
Okay, question 2. Is Dropbox profitable as of June 2010? Assume that Dropbox spends an average of $150,000 per employee on salaries, benefits, rent, legal fees, etc. This figure does not include payments to Amazon S3 for storage and bandwidth. Calculate the variable contribution margin for a paying subscriber and the cost of supporting a free user. How does your estimate of Dropbox's current profitability overall and per user influence your evaluation of the venture's long-term prospects? You may find this video helpful. Okay, here's my thought. I did not do any math calculations. And I didn't do any math calculations because we didn't really get a ton of information other than what the subscriber charge is, the subscription charge per year or per month or whatever. And they only gave us a couple variables on that because it changed from what it originally was going to be to what I guess they started charging. In addition, I have no idea what the people who advertise on their site get paid, or pay them, I guess I should say. I don't know a lot of variables. I mean, I get that they wrote, hypothetically spends an average of $150,000 per employee. And he said they were up to 25 employees, so you can kind of guess how that is. But I mean, he was saying, even when he had as many users as he did, he still was losing money because he was spending so much on marketing. And at that point, I had no idea, like, overall what that was going to come out to be. I don't not concentrate on the numbers on purpose. I just think, like, there's so many other factors to play into it besides that. And I feel like they never give you, like, they throw out a bunch of numbers and then you try to put them together and you're like, I really don't understand where they're going with this.
Well, I actually am an Excel freak. So it actually kind of, I had enough that I did make something. I would screen share it, but let me see. Let's see. Oh, might let me screen share it. Hang on. I don't know if you see it or not. So the little video that he did.
Oh, there it goes. Yay.
Okay. So the little video he did, they already said in there that they thought their annual revenue was between 10 and 15 million. And and that they had 4,000 subscribers, but it felt like some of the information was from one time era and some of the information was from another time. So putting them all together, I didn't really feel like, are these going to be true numbers? So I just walked through his little thing, and basically they have about 15 million, which is what they already said in the report. And I think he threw out these numbers were in there, but I wasn't sure, like you said, were these numbers at the beginning when they started, or are these current numbers? Do you know what I mean? The cost for them to store it on Amazon?
They didn't clarify. That was the annoying part. They would just say, oh, this point, or this is the amount, but it wasn't like, okay, we're going to the beginning or the end.
And they specifically asked, is it profitable as of June 2010? So I didn't feel like I knew up all these numbers. So anyway, I came up with like 2.4 million was their total profit after their costs. So here, I'm just going to stop sharing that. So it wasn't, but I wasn't like totally convinced those numbers were totally accurate, because I felt like they took numbers from different time periods and then we put them together. So it's not going to be, I felt like it was just an estimate.
Did you put that in your case study analysis?
I put in there, I had to put some little asterisks that says, well, this data is as of 2010. This data is as of 2009. Do you know what I mean? I had to put little things in there. But I think
when you submitted your case study?
I haven't submitted it yet. So, but I think the whole point was, it's obvious that they're already profitable and they only have like 2% of the people paying.
Yeah.
So the whole point was, do we keep it as a single, as this kind of like more of a personal thing, or do we go into, launch it into like a professional business one as well? And it's kind of weird because I'm like you, my son-in-law is a photographer. And so he started using it about 2010. And he's like, hey, look, here, when I wanted to look at pictures of my kids, I had to go to Dropbox. So he sent me this little referral. I got my own free Dropbox. But then, like, I realized for our business, like, I have like a business one now, and we literally I use it as a garbage can. So when I don't know what to do with something, but I'm afraid to throw it away, I'll just put it in Dropbox. It'll be there if I need it, but I don't want it on my desktop right now. So I do use it. So, I mean, we know that he went on to launch some sort of, more of a paid business type of product. So I felt like I kind of already knew what was going to happen because I already use it. And so I felt like the profitability running the numbers was just, okay, I'll run them, but I already know that they're profitable. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious when only 2% of the people are paying and you're still making, lots of money. So I don't know if that answered the question.
Yeah, no, they were just saying, I totally think that's right. I just think that the point was, like, they were comparing themselves to the people who were like in the #1 spot, but the people in the #1 spot had their own servers, so they had that overhead cost, whereas they don't use their own servers. So I think they kind of save money there too. But a lot of it has to do with the word of mouth. Like, I use Dropbox because my sister used it and she said it was awesome, so she sent it to me. I mean, at the same time, like, I use my iCloud I use the cloud with my Apple phone, and I pay 99 cents a month and I get unlimited storage. And that backs up automatically, so I don't have to think about it, and I know that all my stuff is safe, and that aspect of it I love. But it also doesn't make it user-friendly. Like, I can't send my cloud to somebody else like you can with Dropbox. You just send a link. It's super easy.
Right.
So, I mean, I like the aspect of keeping stuff safe. But if you're going off of something that is user-friendly that you can share with others, then Dropbox is the best one that I've seen that you can do that with.
Right. I agree. I used it a lot mainly for pictures in the beginning. now, like I think we pay $9.99 a month for our business plan.
Okay.
And I use it all, like I said, all the time, especially like screenshots. Like I'll be doing something, I'm like, oh man, I want to remember that. And instead of printing it out, I just screenshot it, throw it in there, and and call it good. So,
but don't you love using it because it is so plain and easy to use? Like,
yeah,
I
don't
feel
want
like
any more bells and whistles.
if they added a ton of bells and whistles, I would be so uninterested. Like,
Yeah, don't make it
I
hard for me.
I use the example of, like, I'm not super tech savvy, but like I'm okay. But I use the example in my paper of Windows. Like Windows is changing all the time. And it makes people so angry because, like, especially this Windows 10 transition was a slap in the face to everyone.
Yeah.
And so I think like the aspect of, like, yesterday I got on my computer, I knew where everything was and I could use it. And I woke up this morning and I have no idea how to use my computer. And that's what I think would happen to Dropbox. It's so easy to use. You can get on real quick. You don't need to like spend time figuring things out. It's very basic. So if they continue to add bells and whistles and try to compete on that level with people, they're going to lose people because they don't want to have to figure out how to learn another product.
Right. So, oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought. So what did you think of, I know at one point I read this question that said something about his hypothesis, like what was it that he hypothesized about in the beginning, but then he had to change. And what did you think they were talking about? Because I thought they were talking about the Google AdWords, like using that to get the word out, and then they realized like it was costing them so much, per click, that by the time they actually got a paying customer, it was $300 in Google AdWords. So is that what you thought they meant by, he said what? Just one of the questions.
Because he was working in the beginning about where he was talking about how he was his problem is he wanted to create a problem that didn't exist, or he wanted to create a program that didn't exist yet, and yet he tried to gain popularity by using the same method the other people were using. And I didn't understand that because I'm like, you're trying to do something different. Why do you think that by doing something different but following the same mold they do, you're going to be successful?
Right. Yeah, and I really thought they learned, like, early on that the Google AdWords was not the way for them to go. In fact, I think in one of the exhibits, they actually show, and I actually took a class last semester. Have you ever taken B483, which is web business creation?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so do you remember how you had to learn how to use Google AdWords, and you had to actually run the campaign and everything? And I remember how difficult it was to really get the tracking correct, or not the tracking, it's not called acquisition. Now I've already forgot what, conversion rate.
So the analytics?
Yeah, no, the conversion rate, which actually marks when you actually get a paid customer. And so there was an exhibit in the case study that showed, oh, hey, Google AdWords really isn't calculating this right. This is really what it's costing us to get a customer. So I really felt like you did, I really felt like Google AdWords was not the way to go for them. Like that was, I think at one point he even said in the case study, he was going through the list of what you do to start a business, and it was like Google AdWords, check, and I really feel like that.
Oh yeah, he did that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did not work. So, okay, I probably got off topic. Did we answer the question? I think it was about how much they're worth, and does that make an impact on the decision?
Oh yeah.
Was that?
No, I feel like we answered that.
Okay.
Okay, the next question was, when he applied to the Y Combinator, what hypothesis did Houston hold key elements of Dropbox's business model? As of June 2010, which of these hypotheses had been confirmed and which had been discarded? What is your assessment of the approach Houston used to test his hypothesis? Did he waste time, resources, or make notable mistakes? Can you imagine a better way to test it? I think that he was really smart in putting it out on that site for people who are into that kind of thing to test for him.
The beta site, yeah.
I thought it was really smart of him to do that, even though as you're reading the case study, he's questioning himself as he's doing it. Like, do I really want to put this out there right now? Do I whatever? But I think the one thing he stayed with the whole time is he wanted to get it right. Whatever that took, whatever he needed to do, whatever changes need to be made, that he wanted to get it right. It was kind of like when they gave 10 people Dropbox and they told them to get on so they could see how user friendly it was.
Oh, and the Craigslist people.
Yeah, and half the people couldn't do it. And he's like, it was painful to watch them because I think it's easy to use. And then you get people coming in and it's not easy for them to use, you know? And he's like, after that, we made 70 changes to our software to, you know, fit that in. And I think that's the thing that stuck out to me. Like he initially went out, even when he went to like do the competition or whatever, he wanted it to be a user-friendly product. He wanted it to be easy so that an individual could get on and use it and it would work, or a business could get on and they could use it and it could work. And you don't have to have, you know, a book of instructions. That was a huge point for him. And I feel like that's the one thing he stuck to the entire time. I thought his trial run, making the video he put out on that Hacker News website, that was brilliant. Right. It was so smart of him to do that. I feel like, and just show people how easy it was to use. Did you watch the video?
I did, yeah.
And so like, I thought that was super smart. I feel like I think he's making really good decisions. And I think he's making good decisions because he didn't start out to make money. It was never his intention to create this huge company that would make billions of dollars that he would never have to work again in his life. That wasn't the idea. He really just wanted to find a good solution to a problem he faced that he knew other people faced too.
Right. And I also think that part of that, I don't know if you remember his background, but he's pretty much like a programming prodigy.
Oh, I know. He's like 14. He started like being an engineer for a video game. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, like he got 1,600 on the SATs.
I know.
He created this company where you actually studied for the SATs. So for him, you're right. I don't think it's about the money. It's about, I like what you said about, it's about getting it right. And it's a challenge and I'm going to do it right. And I'm not going to shortcut anything. So in answer to the question, I feel like they're saying what hypothesis, and I guess when I went back and looked at what he wrote down on the what was it called? Why?
The Y Combinator. That thing at the end. I was just looking at that.
Yeah. So in the beginning, he was going to have different tiers of. That's what he told them.
Oh, right. Yes, you're right.
And that's what I thought they meant by what he was, what he planned in the beginning and how he changed it. So he's going to have all these tiers.
Well, he did also say it was going to take 8 months, and it ended up taking way longer.
Right. Or he said 8 weeks. And
8 weeks ended up taking,
8 months, yeah. So I feel like even though he said that on the application, he realized going to just a single user product in the beginning using the freemium, the referral method really worked. Now that that's out there, now that they're out there with kind of like free advertising in a way, everybody that when he offers the business product, his name's already out there. And so it's going to work. So I think to me, the question was, are you going to just stay with the single product or are you going to start offering like a business type of product? So I feel like that's what he changed from the application process to what he finally decides to do in, what is the date, 2010. So.
Well, and here's the thing that kind of bothered me about this case study is like at the end, the conclusion, you don't really know what the question is he's trying to figure out. Like it kind of
pretty obvious.
It's kind of like, oh yeah, we're going to keep busy and we're going to, be fast paced, but he doesn't really say if he's going to make those major changes or not. He just says, oh yeah, it's going to be, things are going to pick up. And my final analysis was, I think he needs to stick with his single product thing. And I think he needs to make that, again, keep going with word of mouth. That is like going to be his word of mouth and social media. That's how he needs to be advertising. It's super inexpensive to do that. And those are my 2 points. I'm like, he should stick with single user and he should stick with word of mouth / social media for advertising. But that really wasn't one of the options in the pre-discussion quiz.
Yeah, what was it? It was it was kind of worded differently. It's like,
yeah,
oh wow,
I was
did
like,
miss
I
something?
think it's this one.
Well, how do we know if we got that right? Because I think that's subjective. Like, the whole point is, what's your opinion, and defend it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like when they ask that, it's subjective, because if we have a different opinion and we can back it up with data and we can back, then it
I
shouldn't,
chose the one that
matter.
said stay. I chose the one that said stay the course. I felt
Okay,
like that
I
was the
chose the other.
closest.
So, because I like, maybe I should change my case study, but I like recommended just trying to back it up with the number that I'm not talking about making more bells and whistles, but I'm talking about developing a business, a professional, like a single user, a personal product, which he already has, and then one that's a little more powerful just for businesses. Because one of the biggest reasons is like when people work on projects, being able to see, when they made the changes and stuff. I could see that being a pretty good sell for like small, medium-sized companies. But
well, and
so
you would
I don't know,
see that because you use it as a business aspect, and I don't. So
yeah,
that would be why
yeah.
you would have seen that, and I didn't.
Yeah, but I don't really like, after the grading, after we just got graded, I don't really feel like it's right or wrong. It's more like, pick what you think is right and defend it. Do you know what I mean? So I think
honestly, that's all he cares about. He wants you to like pick your decision and stick with it. Don't flip
right and back it up.
Defend why you chose that, and that's what he's looking for.
And I think both positions are defendable. You know what I mean? I think both are. So if we had we're supposed to like mark on here when we have a conclusion, or just like our concluding or summary time. So I'm going to start it from right here, because I think that's where he goes and watches. Is just the summary. So if you were to summarize this case, how would you summarize it? And then I'll give a little summary. So we are starting our summary.
Okay. My summary would be that, I don't know. That's kind of really, do you want me to summarize what I think of the case study? Like what my overall opinion was?
Yeah, and what your position is.
Oh, okay. My position is that I think that he should stick with the single product that he's been going with right now. I think that he has built enough of a consumer base that if he were to to get a little too excited and overly change things, he'd probably lose a lot of that customer base, because I know a lot of people who use it because it's so user friendly. I use it because it's so user friendly. And I feel like if you start to try and create bells and whistles just because you're in competition to be number one, you're going to lose the people that have hung in with you because they like how easy your product was to use. I think as long as Houston stays with his original beliefs of creating a product that didn't exist, that was there to help people, and it isn't about the money, it's about the product that people need and are missing, then I think he'll be successful.
Okay, and mine's kind of a version of that, in that I think based on the way he's already marketed this, using the freemium and the referral method, that it's already created all of his own. I mean, he's basically gotten pretty much free advertising from that. And I think while it was pretty much built all on people using it personally, that I think he could still offer a business product that just allows for a lot more, more storage. Like, I'm not sure, I wish I would have looked this up, I'll look it up, but how much we get per month, our business gets, how much data storage we get per month based on how much we pay per month. I'll have to look that up. But so I believe he can, I agree with you. I don't think he should add more bells and whistles, but I also think there's money to be made in the business side of it by just offering larger amounts of storage for more money per month. So that would be my summary as to what he should do, is to go ahead and do that. But I also agree with you in not making it more complicated. If they make it more complicated, then what's the point? Because everybody likes it because it's not complicated. So I think a business side of it, you could just make it just the same way, but just offer lots more, lots more storage per month. So that would be my summary of it. So
that's a really good idea.
Okay. So should we stop this and then?
Perfect.
So, or do you have anything else you wanted to say about? Oh, hey, one thing I really liked, that this whole freemium thing, like I knew that's what they did, but I didn't really know that it was called that. And there was this quote in there that I really liked that kind of uses that whole idea. And this was the guy that says he uses the pirate method, or it's really funny, the R method.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So acquisition. So anybody that sees your product, you want to track who's coming, who's doing it. So acquisition, activation of those visitors into users, retention of those users, referral of new visitors by satisfied users. And I think that's really what he did. Is people liked it so much, then they refer it to other people, and while they're referring, they're getting some free data on the back end.
Right.
And then the last new, yeah. So I really thought that was I like the way they listed that out, how that was, and that's the approach he used to the premium business model. So anyway, that was my only other thing I did talk about.
No, I thought that was so, I thought that was so smart.
Right, definitely. So,
I think he's a smart kid.
Okay. Oh, definitely. What is he, like 27 or something?
I know.
So, yeah.
I feel so underaccomplished after that.
Well, it was good. So.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All
so
right,
we'll see you. Email me when you can meet for the other case.
Yeah. I'll email you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right, and then just send me this link. I'm so glad you sent it to me because I didn't know I had to post it in my thing too.
Yeah, you do. So, okay, I will.
Thank you.
Thanks. Talk to you later. Okay, bye.